In the dead of night, with radar systems jammed and alarms silent, a swarm of drones cut through the airspace of Western Russia. Silent, precise, and deadly. By dawn, satellite images confirmed the impossible. Rows of Russian fighter jets burned out on the tarmac, hangars reduced to smoking shells, and air defense units left scrambling in confusion. Ukraine, long seen as the underdog in this brutal war, had just pulled off one of the most devastating drone attacks in modern military history. This wasn't just an attack, it was a statement. For decades, air superiority belonged to those with billion-dollar jets and massive runways. But this event flipped the script. Ukraine's use of small, inexpensive drones to cripple a major portion of the Russian Air Force signaled a new era, where innovation, agility, and strategy could outmatch brute force and outdated doctrines. The significance? Tremendous. It exposed vulnerabilities in one of the world's largest military machines, and proved that asymmetric warfare is no longer theory, it's reality. More importantly, it highlighted the rising dominance of unmanned aerial systems on the battlefield. Drones, once tools of reconnaissance, are now decisive weapons, capable of delivering precision strikes deep behind enemy lines. In this video, we dive into how Ukraine planned and executed this brutal drone strike with surgical precision. We'll explore the tactics, technology, and intelligence that made it possible, and what it means for the future of warfare. Because if this attack proved anything, it's that wars are no longer just fought with soldiers and tanks, but with algorithms, coordination, and silent wings in the sky. This is how Ukraine took down the Russian Air Force, not with numbers, but with brains, drones, and a plan that changed everything. Long before the drones took flight, Ukraine was already watching, closely. Through a powerful combination of Western satellite imagery, real-time signals intelligence, and local informants inside Russian territory, Ukrainian defense forces pieced together a detailed map of Russia's air operations. They tracked the movement of fighter jets, studied airbase layouts, identified weak spots in radar coverage, and timed fuel and ammunition deliveries. This wasn't guesswork, it was surgical targeting, backed by data. Western allies, particularly the US and NATO, played a vital role in this intelligence game. High-resolution satellite passes provided fresh imagery daily. Signals intercepted from Russian communications revealed gaps in readiness. Combined, this intel allowed Ukraine to build a precise hit list. Key airbases housing advanced aircraft like the Su-34 and Su-35, radar installations protecting those assets, and hardened shelters once thought impenetrable. When the time came to strike, Ukraine deployed a mixed fleet of drones. Fast, low-cost kamikaze drones, many built from commercial parts, were modified to explode on impact. Surveillance drones flew high and silently, relaying real-time targeting data back to command units. Long-range drones, some domestically made and others supplied by allies, carried payloads deep into enemy territory, far beyond the front lines. The combination was devastating. Kamikaze drones overwhelmed Russian air defenses with sheer volume. Surveillance units helped adjust targeting mid-mission. Long-range drones struck at the core. Fuel depots, control towers, and parked aircraft. Each drone had a role. Each target was chosen with purpose. This wasn't random destruction. It was calculated, coordinated, and highly effective. Ukraine turned intelligence into action, using eyes in the sky to guide wings of destruction across hundreds of kilometers. In doing so, they not only destroyed aircraft, they crippled Russian confidence in the security of its own skies. When the attack began, it didn't come from one direction. It came from everywhere. Ukraine launched a coordinated, multi-point drone assault across several high-value Russian airbases at once, including sites deep inside Russian territory. The strategy was clear: overwhelm defenses, divide attention, and inflict maximum damage before Russia could mount a coherent response. Drones hit Engels, Kursk, and even airfields near Moscow in a near-simultaneous barrage that caught Russian commanders completely off guard. Air defense systems, designed to stop cruise missiles and manned aircraft, struggled against dozens of small, fast-moving, low-flying drones. Many drones flew nap-of-the-earth routes, skimming just above treetops to avoid radar detection. Others deliberately triggered early warning systems to distract anti-aircraft operators, drawing fire away from the actual strike drones. Russia managed to shoot down a few, but most reached their targets unchallenged. The response was chaotic. Russian military channels lit up with confusion. Some bases lacked enough short-range air defense. Others had aging Soviet-era systems too slow to react. There were even reports of soldiers firing rifles into the night sky out of desperation. In the crucial first hours, Russia's inability to adapt exposed a glaring vulnerability in its layered air defense doctrine. The aftermath was staggering. Satellite images confirmed multiple destroyed aircraft, Su-34s, Su-30s, and strategic bombers reduced to twisted metal. Hangars were burned out, fuel storage depots ignited, and runways cratered. The Russian Air Force didn't just lose equipment, it lost strategic momentum. Perhaps more damaging was the psychological impact. Russian pilots became hesitant to operate from frontline bases. Commanders faced public embarrassment. And for Ukraine, it was more than a tactical victory. It was a symbolic one, a clear message. Even behind its borders, Russia is not safe. The skies that once gave it dominance now belong to whoever controls the drones.